Yes, we are Archangel Michael. We would like you to understand and know that one of the strongest things you can do, because often you attribute warriorship to this collective, one of the strongest things you can do is lend a hand and be helpful and be kind to your fellows on the planet. Because, as you know from listening to this channel, is the fact that you are all one with the divine. You are all one with source. So when you lend a hand, when you help out another, you are really helping out yourself. You are just helping out yourself in a different version of a different space suit or earth suit, if you will. So, a lot of people, especially in your United States, like to be independent. We would like to say independence is not as strong as interdependence. Interdependence is the strongest when you are locking hand in hand with those other earth suits. You are the strongest. Loving kindness is strength. Fear is absolute weakness. Fear ruins your mind, ruins your earth suit. When you are in fear, your thinking brain shuts off. This is useful when there is an emergency. However, if you live your life in fear, you cannot be someone who is a useful human being. You might be able to, if you use those chemicals pumping through your body with fear, to run into a burning building or go, push someone out of the way of a bus, maybe. However, as far as daily living goes, it is not good to be in fear. And let me assure you that anyone who is a bully, anyone who pretends that right and might belong together in the same sentence, might does not make right. It does not. It does not. Because you can does not mean you should. And again, we are looking at you, the United States, and what you have the ability to do. You have the ability for so much good, yet you choose to bully. And there are many, many, many on your country that are cheering this on. And they are willing to starve. They are willing to hurt their fellow citizens. You were commanded, because you seem to give lots of lip service to that you are a Christian nation, yet you do not listen to the words of Christ. The only time you listen to the words of Christ is when you are putting people down, for the most part, is what we have noticed. The words of Christ do not, from the churches, do not. You only quote that I came to bring a sword. And we would like to remind you that sword was to cut yourself away from material and illusion. It was not to use against others in earth suits. It was not to steal. It was not to bully. It was not, that was never. If you are talking about Christ energy, that is blasphemous. Your songs like Onward Christian Soldiers? No, 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 no. A true warrior is loving and kind. A true warrior is forgiving because they know that there is no difference from them and everyone else. The best way to protect yourself and everyone around you is to see that divine spark, to see that Christ light inside those around you with their earth suits. Because otherwise, you will always find a justification for committing atrocities. And yes, many atrocities have been committed, not just by the United States of America, but many other countries as well. Since mostly the people who listen to this channeling are from the United States, we are speaking to the United States. It would fall on deaf ears if it did not come to you. There is nothing you can do if it is not where you are at. Now, you do not need to go out into the streets and protest. You do not need to put memes up on the internet. Again, we have mentioned, others have mentioned about resisting. Resisting does not do anything but cast a vote for what you're pushing against. And that might seem counterintuitive, but you, if you are listening to this, you are on the college track and the it is time to leave preschool. It is time to say, no, that is not what you need to do. Those who are unaware, maybe they need to get out in the streets. Maybe it makes them feel good to be with a bunch of other people so that it can help raise their frequencies. And there are people who, for instance, your monks that were walking for peace, they were not walking against something, they were walking for peace. They just went and walked. That was what they did. Then they went to Washington, D.C. and spoke. They did not bash anybody. They did not say they were against anything. They were walking for what they were for, and that was for peace. They stated, walk for peace. So if you are going to go out in the streets, go out there what you are for, not what you are against. And make sure it's what you are for, truly. For instance, peace, not, oh, you're for somebody else because they aren't your leader. Do you understand our meaning? You need to be for love, for peace, for, and forget the personalities. Because again, those who are committing atrocities, those who are committing crimes, those who are willing to starve, those who are willing to take away rights, those who are willing to do these things are in fear. And if you stop feeding them your anger, your fear, righteous anger does not exist. It exists when you don't remember who and what you are. There is no need for you to be angry. Now, it's a better step up from being depressed. It's a better step up from other things. But again, we are giving you the advanced course, so we do not need to mince words with you. When you go into anger, again, it's closer to fear, farther from love. So think about that. When you act closer to love, as close as to love as you can possibly get, otherwise refrain. If you cannot speak, you know this, right? We don't even have to say this. If you don't have anything nice to say, do not say anything at all. This is not just something your mom told you. This is a truism because of the fact it's your energy, your mind, your subconscious mind, which runs your suit, which runs your cells, which runs how much energy you are able to bring in, how much source, how much divinity, how much light you are able to bring into your cell, your suit, and into the world, depends on you being the highest possible vibration you can be. And we realize this is challenging. We do not come thinking that this is easy peasy. If we were in your physical shoes, we would understand that this can be easier said than done. However, you are listening to someone who is not in physical shoes. This is the point. This is why you listen to beings such as us being channeled, because we have a higher perspective, because we are not in your physical shoes. We are not in your earth suit. So, yes, it is easy for us to say because it is the truth. When you say something negative about anybody or anything, your suit, the message your suit gets from your subconscious mind, which helps run your cells, the message that your suit gets is that it's talking about you. When you mention you wish someone were not alive, guess what your suit is thinking? And we understand you are partially human because your suit is intelligence as well. It does have an intelligence to it because it does some things without your knowledge. It is almost like artificial intelligence. There's really not a difference between your earth suit and artificial intelligence. Because what's really in control when you let in your divinity, when you let in your source energy, that is what controls your suit. Until then, it is what you think of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind and your ego and your id and all those things. That is like letting a monkey drive a bus. Not a good idea. Yes, are monkeys, do they have source? Absolutely. However, they do not have the same capabilities because they have a different sort of suit. It is designed differently. So, yes, there are certain things you don't let your toddlers drive the bus or make the decision about what to eat. You don't let them make the rules. You don't let them play with matches, all these things. So you need to come from a place of the highest possible vibration you can. You can, when you are not sure what to do, and this has been told to you before, hand it up. We are not above you per se. We are just, again, as you were told, older siblings, those who have more experience, those who can see the big picture. You are just seeing the teeny tiniest. Imagine you are zoomed really tight into a map and you can see all the details, say Google Earth, and you're zoomed really in where you can see the details of your house and really, really good details. You would have no idea how to get anywhere in the rest of your state, would you? That is where you are. When you are in a physical suit, you are zoomed way in. You are almost like microscopically zoomed. And we got the telescope. And we can zoom in and we can zoom out. We can pay attention to fine details. But the thing is when you are where we are, you don't need to pay attention to the fine details because there is love and there is fear. And this has been told to you over and over again. Some of us have repeated our messages. You will notice that there is a repetition of, yes, you are one with source, and so is everybody and everything else. And of course, there is a difference in your suits. Again, there is a difference with some of your animals having a lesser type of suit because some of your animals, not all of your animals, some of your animals have more of a collective. They aren't individualized as much until you interact a lot with them. So you will notice once you bring them in, so for instance, your domesticated animals, they will have more of a human feel because you are bringing them in and they are getting some of your humanness from your suit. Now, some of them are not getting your sourceness, they are getting your earth suit humanness, which can make your animals neurotic. There are people who have their animals on Prozac. These animals would not need Prozac if they were not brought in. However, you have domesticated them, so most of them need to be brought in. You should not let them run feral at all. But to bring us back is when you have a choice, lend a hand, reach down, help pick somebody up, just like with us and all the others that are coming and speaking to you at this moment. We would like to lend you our hand and help you see the bigger picture and understand that it is okay. Yes, live your life, really experience the things we cannot experience. Of course, but we want you to savor them. We want you to love them. We do not want you to be scrunched noses and grossed out and being so critical and feeling isn't everything awful types of things. We want you to marvel at the wonder that you are, that everyone and everything around you is. Send out that love. This is the only way. This is the only way. You do not need to pick up weapons. You do not need to march with signs. You do not need to write anybody. You do not need to do anything other than love. And when you love, when you help out, you also forgive. You forgive yourself, you forgive everyone around you, because when you see someone in need and you are helping them out, if you are angry at their situation, you are not adding positive light to it. So clear that from you and come from a place of helping someone with love. Because have you ever had somebody come help you who's really angry at the person who did something to you, and you're in this state where you feel bad and the energy coming from them is anger? It can be very easy for those who are in need or those who've been a victim of something, because they are not yet awake to know that they're not a victim. But if they feel as though they are a victim, a lot of times survivors and victims feel a sense of guilt. They feel a sense of, I do not want to inconvenience when someone comes to help them out. So if you clear yourself, if you have love when you walk over to them, that is the most healing possible thing you can do. You can change the world one thought at a time, one action at a time. We love you. We are Michael.